Hello everyone. Today's topic for discussion is first trimester combined screening for the aneuploidies. This topic is like Marvel movies. It started long ago and every year new topic or new research will keep on adding to this. Like the characters which die or go into hibernation in the movie, there are few tests which become outdated. This is Dr. Kryptos Nikolaidis, who is 68-year young, who is also known as father of fetal medicine, who has dedicated his life for the well-being of the mother and to-be mothers. The most common aneuploidy we encounter is trisomy 21, that is Down syndrome. John Downes explained or he elaborated the characteristic of the children having this syndrome, who showed broad and flat face, small nose, the skin which is deficient in elasticity, giving the impression of being too large for the body. There are about 20,000 genes in 23 pairs of chromosomes. So at least we can identify the few of the chromosomal defects which antenatally. The first trimester screening include NT scan and biochemical markers. NT scan, when it should be done? It should be done between 11 to 14 weeks when the CRL is between 44 to 84 mm. To whom we should offer this screening test? It should be offered to every pregnant lady irrespective of her age. Previously this was offered only to the ladies who were more than 30 or 35 years old. By whom it should be performed? It should be performed by the trained person. Fetal Medicine Foundation has certificate course online. This is my certificate of competence which I got after clearing the theoretical course and submitting satisfactory images. Why we should offer these screening tests for the pregnant ladies? If everything is fine and the ultrasound is normal, you can just congratulate the lady and send her home and call her for the anomaly scan at 18 to 20 weeks. But if ultrasound shows some abnormalities, algorithm exists for the further evaluation of the ultrasound findings and should be followed for the complete diagnosis, prognosis of current pregnancy and implication for the future pregnancy. Remember, every structural abnormality need not to be terminated. How the nuchal translucency should be measured? The image should be magnified, mid-sagittal. The fetus should be in neutral position. Widest part of the nuchal translucency to be measured. It should be away from amnion. Avoid taking the measurement of umbilical cord. The plus mark cursor should be kept between to inner borders. This is example for increased nuchal translucency. Few software are available which calculate the risk of trisomies in that fetus. This is the Astrea software which I use. It takes the history of the mother, like racial origin, previous chromosomally abnormal child, parity of the mother, any history of preterm labor, small baby, current maternal weight, height, history of smoking, diabetes, hypertension, systemic lupus erythematosus, mode of conception, whether it is spontaneous, induced, IUI or IVF. In case of IVF, further details are needed. In ultrasound, it will ask for FHR, CRL, NT, BPD, PI of ductus venosus, nasal bone present or absent, tricuspid regurgitation present or absent, urinary PIs, endocervical length and other major structural abnormality which can be seen on ultrasound. We have to put the biochemical markers into this, about which I will tell later. After considering all the parameters, the software will calculate the risk for that fetus. So it will tell what is the risk for trisomy 21 18 and 13, also for the risk for preeclampsia, IUGR, and uh, spontaneous delivery before 34 weeks. So accordingly, we can counsel the parents for the management. What are the markers of aneuploidies we look into the NT scan? These are either presence or absence of nasal bone, NT, negative A wave in ductus, presence or absence of tricuspid regurgitation. The nasal bone may not be physiologically ossified in fetuses with CRL less than 65 mm. So, better to do NT scan at 12 to 13 weeks. It also allows better evaluation of the structural abnormalities. NT graph should be used. The nuchal translucency, if it is more than 95th percentile, we should always advise to undergo genetic testing. If the NT is more than 99th percentile, the test is must and should. This is the Fetal Medicine Foundation graph for the nuchal translucency. The red line indicates the 99th percentile. What are the biochemical markers we use? Double marker, which includes PAP-A and beta HCG. The first trimester quadruple markers, which use PAP-A, beta HCG, alpha fetoprotein, and PLGF, which is placental factor, which also identifies the risk for preeclampsia. The pentamarker includes the quadruple marker along with inhibin. NIPT. It is non-invasive prenatal testing. It's a blood test. It checks for the free fetal DNA in the maternal blood. The advantage is it's non-invasive, so there is no risk for miscarriage. It has very high sensitivity for trisomy 21. It can be done as early as 10 weeks. What are the limitations? It's a screening test, not a confirmatory test. It doesn't check for all the chromosomal abnormalities. It is less sensitive for trisomy 18, 13 and microdeletions. It is false negative in low fetal fraction and false positive in vanishing twin. Obviously, it is costly. When the biochemical marker should be done? In Indian scenario, people won't come if you call them for the biochemical markers at 11 weeks and for the NT scan at 12 to 13 weeks. So, at 12 to 13 weeks, do both NT scan and biochemical markers. If as the gestational age increases, sensitivity of these markers decreases. A lab with good quality control should do these biochemical markers. The question comes, that is, when we have very good scan or when we have very good blood test, why we should do both? So as you can see, if we take only maternal age into consideration, the detection rate for the aneuploidies is only 30%. As we keep on adding the other parameters like NT, biochemical markers and nasal bone or tricuspid or ductus venous flow, the detection rate increases to 93 to 96% with very low false positive rate of 2.5%. So where we see increased NT? We see increased NT in chromosomal abnormalities, cardiovascular diseases, pulmonary defects, skeletal dysplasia, congenital infection, metabolic or hematological diseases. So we quickly go through few cases. This lady, 34-year-old, came for NT scan at 12 weeks. The NT measures 3.5 mm. So if I put this NT into the graph, it is at 95th percentile. What we should do? The screening test, it is advising her to undergo screening test may not be useful. It is just wasting time and money of the patient. So we have to go for more confirmatory test. Chorionic villus sampling should be done at this gestational age and send the sample for QF-PCR and microarray. If the chromosomal assay comes normal, then look for cardiac and pulmonary abnormalities in the anomaly scan. This is another case which came for NT scan at 12 weeks, which showed megacystis, that is longitudinal bladder dimension more than 7 mm. Three possible outcomes of these findings are: if the longitudinal bladder dimension is between 7 to 15 mm, we have to rule out chromosomal abnormalities. So again, do chorionic villus sampling, send the sample for QF-PCR and microarray. If this test comes negative or normal, most of the over-distended bladder or megacystis will resolve. If the longitudinal bladder dimension is more than 15 mm, there are high chances of fetus developing obstructive uropathy. So we have to counsel the parents accordingly. So take home message is, after first trimester screening for all the pregnant ladies, always look for the percentile of the NT rather than just measuring it. A good NT scan done by a trained person with biochemical markers from the standard lab will give good screening results. Not all increased NT are due to Down syndrome. Do chromosomal assay before searching for other causes of increased NT. Don't terminate the fetus just for increased NT without investigation as 15% of them can be normal. Nasal bone is physiologically may not be ossified in fetuses with CRL less than 65 mm. So reconfirm before calling it as absent. Presence or absence of the nasal bone is important in NT scan rather than its measurement. If ductus show negative A wave, kindly look for the cardiac abnormalities in anomaly scan. Thick nuchal translucency is pathological diagnosis and not a name of the disease. It's an indicator to investigate further and not label to terminate. A good NIPT test can rule out possibilities of fetus having Down syndrome, but sensitivity decreases for trisomy 18, 13 and microdeletions. Increased NT can be seen in chromosomal abnormalities. The fetus can go into IUD or have other major abnormalities in future. Some cases of intellectual abnormalities or autism spectrum disease can develop postnatally. So finally, it's a decision of parents and just we have to guide them. So whenever you order for any chromosomal assay, so you can just call up your geneticist and discuss with them what to be done, and you can always ask for storage of the fetal DNA, so that in future if you find some abnormalities in anomaly scan, you can just call up your lab and ask for further testing. If you have any queries, I am very happy to answer those. You can WhatsApp me on this number.